For all of you out there who like to drink tea, I'm about to put you on. Get a nice Earl Grey tea and some vanilla creamer. It's all you need. It's so simple and it makes a bomb cup of tea. Anywho, I just moved out, so I'm gonna tell you guys some things to expect when you move out. The main one is the unexpected. And I know this is one that y'all probably hear a lot, but it's for a reason. Because when you're getting ready to move out, you know that there's going to be things that are going to happen which you didn't anticipate. You know for certain there's going to be tons of stuff that's going to go down which you could not have anticipated. There was no way you could have known that this was going to happen. But you don't understand the sheer quantity of things like that which happen in that first week you move out until you do it. So be extra ready, essentially. You're going to know that, yeah, like a bunch of stuff is going to go down, but be extra ready. And it's very different when you're going through it. Because you know consciously when you're getting ready to make the move, when you're getting ready to do it, you know, okay, this is a big step. I'm going to be all on my own. The responsibility is going to fall on me. But then once you're in that circumstance where all of these unexpected things are happening and nobody's bailing you out, like you just have to fix it, or like you just have to make do with what you got right now, then it really starts clicking. You have to start turning the gears. You have to start figuring it out on your own. So that'd be my number one thing to expect when you move out is the unexpected. The second one, don't expect to be living lavishly. You're not gonna. I mean, maybe if you wait till you're a little bit older to move out, you know, you got a better job and you got your career lined up already before you move out, yeah, you could probably afford a little bit of a nicer place. But all them first apartments, you know, those apartments that are like under $1,000 a month, for instance, they all got their quirks. They got their quirks, and they're quirks that you don't know about until you move in, typically. Because the landlord, he ain't gonna tell you it. He's trying to sell you the apartment. You know what I mean? And thankfully, I lucked out. I got a really good landlord. He seems to be real on top of everything when it comes to fixing stuff. And that's always a good thing when you got a good landlord. But still, there's going to be tons of little quirks and little things in the apartment that you didn't sign up for. You didn't expect this to happen. But guess what? You already done signed the lease. So you're living there now. And yeah, you could just sit there and keep calling the landlord to try to fix all the problems. But eventually, like, there's certain ones where you just kind of have to man up and do it yourself. So yeah, be ready for that. Know that unless, you know, you're already making $20, $30 an hour, you already got a good salary or whatever, and you can afford a place that's like $1,500 a month by yourself, then, you know, unless that's the case, there's going to be some quirks. There's going to be a couple little things that you're like, that's kind of gross. Or like, oh man, you're telling me my shower doesn't work? I can't shower? I literally did not shower for the first 3 days, maybe even 4 days that I lived here. I actually still haven't showered because I had to re-caulk the shower and I'm waiting for the caulk to dry. So there's going to be stuff like that that just pops up. You know, leaky faucet. I thought I checked the leaks well enough in the tour, but I guess not. Like, just little things like that. So, yeah, be prepared for that. What else? Another one, a big one when you move out, is whether or not you want roommates. And I chose to have no roommates because I had roommates when I was in college and it was really cool. But in college, there's no bills. And I got to experience a lot of the downsides of having roommates. You know, like some of the downsides are things aren't going to be how you want them to be. Everyone's got their own system, their own way of doing things. And so if your system doesn't jive with their system, it's kind of a conflict and you guys have to come to an agreement on things, stuff like that. And that's not the end of the world. But, you know, everyone has a different quota, a different standard of cleanliness. For example, a different standard of organization, a different standard of, you know, when certain things need to be done around the house. And when those standards don't line up, it can create some conflict. But that's kind of a smaller thing. So I got to experience that. But then once you throw bills in the picture, it's like, yo, I don't want to be relying on some other knucklehead to pay my bills. Like, yeah, it's going to be expensive, but like, I'd rather take that responsibility myself. Just because you don't know. Like, you really don't know. And I think especially when you're rooming with friends, it can really make or break a friendship because you move in together, and then all of a sudden bro stops paying the bills, and then now all of a sudden you got to kick him out of your guys' both house, and then he leaves you with 1,000, maybe even 1,200 a month rent. You know what I mean? Like, not the move. So that's why I'm more of an advocate for living alone if you're gonna move out. I just think it's the better way to go because you're gonna have to do it eventually. And I think there's likely, I haven't experienced this yet, but there's likely to be so much personal growth on the other end of living alone because it literally all falls on you. Like when you're in that situation where nobody's bailing you out, as I said, previously, when nobody's bailing you out and you just have to fix the problem, you just have to carry all this stuff up the stairs. You just have to do this, that, or the third. It definitely develops you because you don't have a choice other than to learn. It's like if your car gets a flat on the side of the highway and you don't have roadside insurance. Guess you're learning how to change a tire today. You don't have a choice there. You just have to do it. So it's kind of the same thing here. And I think that creates so much more personal development than sitting there and having someone show you how to change a tire and then you just watch them do it and then you forget. Do you know what I mean? When you're just thrown into it and you're like, okay, I guess I'm YouTubing how to change a tire right now, then you start just having to figure it out. You make mistakes. It takes way longer than you thought it was going to take. It's a whole ordeal. It's stressing you out. But then eventually you get it done. And now next time it's going to be more seamless. I think that process, which gets repeated for so many things, it gets repeated for cleaning, it gets repeated for fixing things around the house, it gets repeated for what stuff you should buy. You buy something, it's super cheap and it breaks on you and you're like, damn, I shouldn't have spent money on that. I should have bought something else, something more quality. Like all of those things are gonna happen when you're living alone. And I think just the lessons you get from that are invaluable. It's worth that $900 a month. So yeah, those are just some pieces of advice that I wanted to give to the camera today when it comes to living alone. Dude, I didn't even take a sip of my tea. What am I doing? Gas. That is so good. But yeah, get you some Earl Grey, get you some milk to go in it or some vanilla creamer. It hits the spot. But yeah, so as a young guy with a very middle of the road, like entry level job, I am able to make it work living alone. It's tough out here. You know what I mean? I don't got a lot of things. My living room is like a folding chair and my piano and a bunch of bins. So even though I'm kind of broke right now, you can make it work. You can make it work. You just gotta budget well and be on top of your finances. And yeah, you could definitely make it work, even if you got an entry level job, even if you're not out here, making $30 an hour with a pension and a 401k and all these things lined up. You don't need to be in that situation to live alone. And if you already are in that situation and you haven't moved out, you're kind of just kicking the can down the road. Like you could have been moved out. And you should, honestly. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.